Your brain is for having ideas, not holding them. And that's the main point in the getting the things done method. And over the last week, I've realized I have failed getting those thoughts out of my head and into a system that I trust in order to move myself forward from being an employee to being an operator. I'm Mark, and for the last 16 years, I've managed a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio for a single-family office here in South Florida. It's a great job. I work with great people, I make a nice salary, and I really enjoy the boss that I work for. But I'm in the middle of a pivot, a mental pivot. I want to move from an employee to being an owner and operator myself. And this is a scary jump. Having a nice salary and a safety net, being able to build a foundation for your family and a lifestyle that they come to expect and appreciate, it's scary to transition from a predictable paycheck to being the only one responsible for finding the jobs, making sure they're successful, and ultimately getting paid. But I'm at a point in my career that I need to exit this golden cage. I need to branch out and not be beholden to somebody else's prerogatives and directives. It's time for me to start building my own company. So over the last week, I took the serious step and really launched my GC company, which is MK Builders. I've had a GC license now for almost 5 years, and I've used it a little bit here and there, but I've never done it to actually go out and make money. And that's the shift I'm going through at the moment. And today I want to show you the system stress test that I've performed over the last 14 days to identify the weak points in my system and really supercharge the little things that could help me pursue my own company and exit the employee mindset. So the first system that I had to revamp after the 14 days was my Smartsheet capture system. You may recall in past videos I talked about Smartsheet and how I used it to capture everything. I also use it to manage all the projects that are on my plate. But ultimately, the Smartsheet spreadsheet system was very difficult to use if I was not sitting at my desk in front of a computer. So I scrapped that after the 14 days, and I'm now using an app called Todoist, which is a real basic to-do app, but it has a nice capture system. I can do it through a voice memo. I can do quick, just typing it in my phone or from my computer. I can also send emails to the to-do list, and it will capture it. Now, the most important thing about the getting things done method is having that capture system that you trust and is frictionless to use. If it takes more than 5 to 10 seconds to put a task in your to-do and capture system, you're not going to use it. That's too much friction. So that was the main point for finding the new app, which was the easy capture. And that's exactly what Todoist does well. So the other big shift this week was actually bidding my first 2 projects under my own license. Now it's a whole nother ball game when you're doing it under your own license. It's your own liability, it's your own company's liability, it's your company's reputation. And with me being a new company that nobody knows about, that reputation has to be built, that trust has to be built. Now, while people may have worked with me over the last 16 years, they've done it under the company I work for. And over the last few weeks, I have spoken to my boss a lot about my desire to do this, and he didn't seem to hesitate. So I'm pushing forward. I don't need permission to do this. It is more on me to be comfortable with going out and pursuing my own dreams and desires of having a contracting company. This also means I'm going to be leaving the safety net of having a predictable paycheck and a company that's there to support me. You know, it's one thing to do these projects with somebody else's money, somebody else's assets. It's a whole nother thing to be your own. And that's what I'm pushing for. And while it's scary and new, I'm excited to do it. I know I can do it. I've spent the last 16 years managing projects. I started from small carpet renovation jobs all the way up to brand new build outs and brand new buildings. So I definitely have the experience, but now I just have to have the courage to go out and do it. And that's the hardest part about this next step for me, is leaving the comfort of a paycheck, the safety net of a job, and doing it for myself. So to be able to do this, I have to have a strong physical foundation. And I've also talked about rebuilding my body and becoming more durable, making sure that my reconstructed knee continues to be pretty robust and isn't a point of friction, for the lack of better words. I can't make these new mental shifts if I'm not operating from a solid physical foundation. And my mom would tell me, to calm the mind, you have to exhaust the body. And I've always known that to be true, because I've always felt better after a good workout, or I'm consistent with physical activity. But now, going out on my own, or starting to go out on my own, there'll be definitely a transition from working my day job to being full-time on my own. But during that transition, to be able to be mentally strong, I have to be physically fit, and I have to be durable to be able to withstand the ups and downs that are going to come over the next months, years, and hopefully decades. So 3 weeks ago, I failed that physical audit, that audit stress test, if you will. There were certain benchmarks I wanted to hit that I didn't hit. So I developed the Strong and Agile at 41 program, which is a simple program. Again, I'm not training for vanity, I'm training for durability. I want to be able to do anything that comes my way, any task or any fun activity. I don't want to have to worry about it. So again, this isn't a vanity, but this is setting my physical floor. What is the bare minimum I have to do daily to maintain my durability and be there for the long haul? This is going to be scary. You know, the ups and downs that are going to come are definitely going to be high, and they're going to be low. There's going to be a lot of no's along the way, hopefully a few yeses, but I'm prepared for that. And while it's not guaranteed, if I don't try, even if I fail, I'll feel like I at least did it. And that's what's most important. So again, going after this work is definitely scary. And while having a salary is comfortable, I feel like I'm trapped inside of a golden cage. And I want to feel free. I want to get out, and I want to set my own work, set my own schedules. So, you know, life is where you get to build something of your own. And that's where a lot of meaning in life comes from. So if you want to see if these projects actually get signed up, or if the rug gets pulled out from underneath me, you know, hit subscribe, follow for the journey. Don't wait for the next week. Don't wait for next month. Take one messy action today and see how you'll feel better in the morning. See you soon.